This week, you could win one of 3 bundles for the Silver Bayonet. Winners will be chosen from OnTableTop.com, YouTube, and the Cult of Games members.
This Let's Play was supported by these awesome hobby companies.
Hello everybody, we are here to start off our theme week for the Silver Bayonet with a solo game slash introduction to the rules, I suppose. Kind of a bit of both.
Hands up, I have no idea how to play. Jerry's going to be teaching me live.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it, I feel. It saves having to read any big inconvenient words. So it's got that going on for it.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll run through a bit about the game and its setup first, and then we'll just plow into it and discuss the rest as we go. Cool. If you're familiar with Joe's stuff for Frostgrave, Stargrave, that sort of thing, it is similar.
Okay.
It's like a cousin.
Less spells?
Less spells, but also it changes stats and how monsters move and how things activate and stuff like that. So it's not just a Napoleonic version of those games. So first off, you have 2 dice, which are D10. And when you're making any checks, you will be using a power dice and a skill dice.
So purple for power?
Yep. And, well, grey for skill in this case. In the same way where you would have a target number and attempt to beat it in the Graves, this does the same thing. So you have a target number, you roll both dice together. Where it starts to differ is if you beat your opponent's defense, say it's an attack, you would then check which dice is relevant for the attack you're doing. So a Highlander with a claymore is a big brute of a heavy weapon, would roll, or they wouldn't roll. Once they've rolled to hit, they would then take whatever the value on the power dice is, add any modifiers, it gets a +1 because it's beefy. And then that's the amount of damage that gets through. And then you check it against your opponent's armor and health. If it's something like a rifle shooting, it uses skill as opposed to a musket's power. So you roll once and then that dice roll tells you everything you need to know. Cool. Apart from that, the scenario for solo play has a couple of interesting little tweaks. First off is you have fate dice and you have a power and a skill dice, one of each, which can be used to re-roll, negate damage, or add to a roll if you're doing something. You can also use them to drop in a quick reload, so they can be expended as actions, sort of beneficial actions as well. You do have extra ways of getting them in the big main game when you're playing against an opponent. They're less common in the solo games. So you will have 2 spare D10, 1 of each. So probably the easiest way is to put 1 at a 1 and 1 at a 10 and then decide which one is going to be which, whether your 1 is skill or your 1 is power. It matters not. As long as you know yourself. We have set up here a little runed, I suppose, chapel, for want of a better word, because the scenario is the Rune Chapel. So in this is actually scenario 2, but I've seen a lot of people playing the wolves, and I'm not going to do that again. Other people. Having escaped the wolves, you press deeper into the forest, relying on a compass and crude map to bring you to the lost chapel. As another day passed, the forest slowly grew denser, and with the canopies of ancient gnarled trees merging together until they block out nearly all natural light. Finally, through the tenebrous shadows, you spy the ruins of a small stone building, surrounded by broken, tilted, and overgrown gravestones. According to your orders, you're to search the chapel and recover any items of interest. However, just as you're about to order the advance, you see figures shuffling around in the graveyard. Here we have every gravestone has its own shambling thing. So, you'll be pleased to hear there are only 4 things you need to investigate, and Silver Bayonet is a little different from the Graves, where you're not going in to loot. You're going in specifically to find something. So you've been sent on a mission. This is war-torn Europe. And they wouldn't just go out there and see what you can steal. It's jolly bad form.
Are you sure that's not what it is? Because that sounds a bit accurate.
Well, they hung people who did it in the British Army if they got caught, so probably not a great way to go. This game uses a card deck, and the mission will tell you what cards to pluck out of the card deck, and this is how you search. So I have 5 cards. There are only 4 tokens. So one of these tokens will not, or one of these cards will not be drawn when you use an action to search. And it's the same as claiming an objective in the other games. You have to be within 1 inch and not have something evil within an inch of you or the token. You do a test and you flip it over and you get the card, and the card tells you what it is, and it could be something great, it could be something terrible. There is rumours of vampires in this neck of the woods.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so don't expect to be alone for long. You're playing the British?
Yes, I'm going with the British. And one thing I do like is you get to name your characters and you get to do like a full breakdown on how you're doing them. I may be deciphering this because my handwriting is like hieroglyphics. But I have my leader, Colonel James Winthrop. You know, very posh.
Sure.
I've got Dr. Reggie Marks, Private Bobby Liner, Private Ricky Smith, Corporal Jake McDoon, because I needed to make him sound Scottish.
Fair enough.
Private Tom Haynes, Marcus Lamb, who is just along for the ride. He's a supernatural investigator. And the last one is Private John Kelly. He's a sapper.
Okay.
Likes the explosive stuffs.
That's one way of doing it, certainly. So the first thing you're going to have to do is place the members of your unit. We are playing roughly a 2.5 square in here. So you've got about 8 inches in there, I think, more or less, before the edge of your table hits.
So basically, yeah, I've got a foot here, and that's where the board starts, yeah?
Yeah, that'll do the job.
And what's my deployment?
So your deployment is anywhere within 2 inches of any table edge.
Okay, so if I just set this to 14, that should do it for us. So I think I'll put my guys just up on the hill all together.
Okie dokie. Everybody's together one at a time or all at once. It's all the same to me.
And the rest of them will stand behind.
I know it's in the Napoleonic era, but you don't have to form line. Just saying.
I want everybody to rock into one place and just wreck house together.
It's a good way of doing it.
Right, so deployed.
You are, yes, indeed. Next thing is just straight into the game then. So in a regular game, player 1 plays half of their force. Then the monsters have a phase.
Okay.
Then player 2 plays all of their force. And then player 1 uses whatever figures they have left. In a solo game, it's slightly different. You have half, rounding down, then the monsters, and then the rest of your force go. And that's a turn.
Okay.
And they will come towards you if they can see you. And if they can't see you, they'll go towards clue markers instead. So they tend to clump up on things that you want to find.
So you have to deal with them?
Yes. Yeah, no running around here.
Okie dokie. So I assume I can just start moving half of my force then?
Yeah. And
now, do I do everything with one figure, or do I do everything?
Oh, yes, yeah. Everything
as a phase.
Everything with one figure. So you would nominate somebody to go, and then they've got 2 actions, one of which must be move, unless you're planning on reloading. So if you've got a black powder weapon, you can negate your move to reload instead. Okay.
Well, I'll start with Corporal James, and he has a move of 5. So he'll just walk up to the edge of the hill here, see the undead horror standing there, and
terrible way to talk about that poor person.
Well, he's going to do something worse. He's going to quite promptly just shoot it in the face with his blunderbuss.
Okie dokie.
So, skadoosh.
Yes. And for the purposes of this game, cotton buds are firings.
Yes.
It means you know whether or not you have to reload. If you have a big thing in front of you, you will have to reload.
Right. So taking a shot.
Taking a shot, I will need to find the Revenant's
stat line.
Defense. So it has a defense of 12. And then because you moved, your accuracy will be impeded, shall we say. Okay. So you've taken a move, it's a -1 to your accuracy. Target's not in cover, shockingly, and it's not mounted on a horse, so it doesn't have to worry about anything like that. So you can just go ahead, assuming you're within range.
Well, it's a blunderbuss.
Oh, blunderbuss, which has got, what, a 10-inch range?
I have no idea.
Do you not write that down?
No, because I was relying on you to teach me.
Yeah, but I don't know what you've taken in your army. I will go back there and check.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty close to it. I'm within 5 inches.
Okay, so blunderbuss is actually 8-inch range.
Okay.
So
2 dice?
2 dice, your skill and your power. Your accuracy is?
+1.
Okay. And you take a -1 for walking.
So
you
I'm
take
just...
a -1 because it's a blunderbuss, which is not a good weapon to shoot.
So I'm looking for 13?
The Revenant's defense is 12.
Uh-huh.
So you go for your guns.
Yep. That'll be 2.
That'd be worse than that.
Oh dear.
That'd be a critical failure. Which means that weapon isn't being used for the rest of this game.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Don't roll double ones. Roll double 10s, that's good. But double ones is very bad. Single ones can be quite bad.
Well, that's at least quite useful for the purposes of the demo game.
Yeah.
So, that failed.
It did.
He's done.
He is. He has been.
Yep. Let's give ye olde doctor a go. So he's got a speed of 6. He will walk up, having seen his liege lord leader take a shot. So he will also take a shot.
And what's he armed with?
A pistol.
Okay, so same 8-inch range, but doesn't have the modifier of -1 that the...
But I did move. And my accuracy is +0.
Okay, so you're going to be on a -1. So go for your guns.
That'll be a
That's
9. No dice. If he's 12 defense.
He's 12 defense. What's your accuracy?
+0.
It's just a +0 then. Yeah. No, nothing at all.
All right. Next up, I have my infantryman with his move of 6. So he will move up to the other side of his commander and will also skadoosh. So for him, he has an accuracy of +1.
Wow. So that's already gone away because you walked.
And it's a musket.
Okay,
He's firing.
So it's a 24-inch range.
Okay.
So you're well within range.
That will be 8 + 3, 11.
So it's 11.
Yeah.
Against a defense of 12?
No good?
No. Because it's less than 12.
Kind of figured that. All right. I have my regular. He also has a move of 6, so he's going to go to like point blank range here. And boop, shoot it. So he gets a +1 to his accuracy as well.
Yes.
He's gone for shooting. That'll be 15.
Well, it'll be 14.
14.
Oh, no, it will be 15 now because you've got +1 to your shot.
Yep.
So yeah, so you finally hit. Excellent. Before you pick them up, what's he shot with?
Musket.
So musket uses power.
Okay.
So it's not going to do the lovely 10 damage it could have done, which would have been a skill.
Yeah.
A rifleman would have done that. But 5 damage for him instead. And the Revenant has a health of 10. So it's halfway damaged.
Okay. Right. So that's half of my force done. Now it's on to you.
Yes.
For the monsters. I'll just let you control them.
That's very decent of you. So first thing with the Revenants is, do they have any clever things? Because if they have weapons, like ranged weapons, the first thing they'll do is stop and shoot. And if they've already shot, they'll reload.
Right.
So some monsters can be very vicious. They don't. They actually have damage reduction of 4 against projectile weapons. Oh. So only took 1 damage.
Ouch.
Oh, excellent.
I think...
and equipment of none.
I will need to get Jake up into the front because he's got a heavy weapon.
Yep, heavy weapon would be good, or silver or cast iron would also be good as well.
Well, my commander does have silver and iron rounds.
Right. Has he got a gun to fire them out of?
Yeah, he's got the blunderbuss.
Which you can't use for the rest of the game because of the crit failure.
Oh, damn. No way to repair it at all?
Not in the game, no. Stripping a musket at the best, or a blunderbuss, or whatever it happens to be, it's not something that's going to happen often.
Yeah, he's probably sitting there going, okay, now, who in the hell put that down the barrel? Why is it blocked?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I will just go full tilt towards you because I can see you.
Okay.
The ones who can't see you will go towards clues, and you go from the lowest health to the highest. Mm-hmm. So in this case, I actually know who the lowest one is. It will be this gentleman here.
Either the doc, the infantryman, or the irregular.
The monsters move lowest to highest.
Oh, I see.
So he has a speed of 4, which you've brought yourself inside of. Mm-hmm. So this revenant will rumble up. And we'll go for an attack. Okay.
That is my irregular. So he has a defense of 13.
Just check. I think monsters only roll 1 die. I will double check that before I start tearing your head off, because that would be terrible. Okay, so no, they do roll the same power and skill as yourself.
Okay.
So I have a melee of +1. You have a defense of
13.
Our survey says 17, 18. That'll be a hit.
Yeah.
Now, they have equipment none, so it's an improvised weapon.
Okay.
So it's power of 9.
Oh.
Which may be halved. Let me just check what a improvised weapon does. Just -1. So -1 to my power dice. So it only causes 8 damage. Only.
Ouch. 2 health left.
2 health left. Oh, he's fine. He's still on his feet. What are you complaining about?
Yeah.
This one will move 4 inches towards him because he's the closest. This one will move towards him because he's the closest. This one can't see. He'll actually go towards the closest clue marker. And he will likewise go towards closest clue. And he can see you, so he'll drift that way. Mm-hmm. And that's the end of my monster phase.
Okay.
So it's the rest of your unit.
Yep. Well, I think what's going to happen is my rifleman's going to stand still and shoot at this gentleman here with a rifle.
It's a good plan. No cover.
Double ones again.
Oh dear. Hope that rifleman's brought his bayonet with him.
No, he has nothing else.
I think he does. I think they come with bayonet as standard.
Okay.
I will double check for you in a moment.
Fair enough. That didn't go so well.
Kumbaya.
Yeah. I think I'll go for my supernatural investigator next. Mm-hmm. He's got a speed of 6. So he can just about get in, I think. Mm-hmm. And he has a fencing weapon.
Oh, fancy. Mm-hmm. So fancy. Mm-hmm. The main thing here is it will use the skill rather than the power for damage, which is good because that's a 9 on the skill.
Yeah, so that'll be a 15.
Yep.
And 9 dam.
With damage reduction is only against projectiles.
Yep.
So he'll take all 9. He's only got 9. Mm-hmm. And this little fella goes away, and that will get you an XP.
Oh, lovely.
For that gentleman in particular.
Lovely.
So, 2 left to go?
Yes, my sapper and my Highlander. My Highlander has a speed of 6. I think he's going to move himself up this way because there's one of these boys is about to turn up. And then my sapper has a musket. So he will walk up here 6. And he will attempt to shoot this gentleman here.
Okay.
So let's see what we got. That'll be 15 again.
Yep. So even with the -1, you'll be hitting. Only does 6 damage this time. And knock 4 off that because it's a projectile. 2. So, yeah. Only the 2. But that's not bad.
Yeah.
I said it's not bad. It's not great either.
Yeah. And I need to mark that he did his shootings.
So, end of the turn, before we finish the first round, our first vampire comes creeping out of the darkness.
Oh, lovely.
I thought you'd like that. The vampire comes creeping from a random corner, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, random corner. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll roll again. 3, 4. It's going to be over there.
Oh, dear. Give me a vampire.
There's a vampire.
So he just
At least,
walked out and went, who the bloody hell is shooting all my minions?
yeah, at least it's not, closer.
Yeah.
If it was 1 or 2 and behind you, that would have been squeaky bum time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's round 1 done. Let's move on to round 2. Okay, back for turn 2. One of the unusual / unwanted things is the revenants keep spawning as well. No. So it's a ticking clock.
How many?
1 theoretically at the end of each turn, but the start of the turn does the same thing. And on a random gravestone. So I'll start with 1 there and work my way around.
Yeah.
And our survey says
5.
5.
1, 2,
so
3,
there.
4, 5. Yeah.
I'll pop somebody unliving there. And yeah, so it's back to you then. Start your turn.
I will start with my irregular. He will forgo his movement to reload.
Yes.
And quite promptly shoot that revenant.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. There's just a wall there.
8 and 7, 13.
8 and 7's 15.
Oh, sorry.
So
well, it's
better.
15 plus 1, 16. So it'll hit, and it's power.
So definitely hit. So 8 damage.
Down to 4.
Down to 4, yep.
And hadn't he already took 2 points?
He had already taken 2 points, yeah.
Okay.
So don't worry. He's rocking. He's not falling over yet.
All right. Next up, let's go with my investigator. So Marcus, with his move of 6, is going to rock up and slap him in the face with his fencing weapon. That'll be 8. No good.
Not enough. You will take a fatigue. I would also take fatigue, but I'm indefatigable.
Oh.
So I ignore them.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but that is -1 to your defense and to your melee.
Oh, great.
Until you shake them at the end of the turn.
Okay.
They are capped at 2, mind you. So you won't get terribly, terribly done with.
Yeah. Okay, I have an infantryman here who will reload and shoot at this. I don't need that because my commander has lost his weapon now.
Terrible.
So he will shoot at that. That'll be 12, 13, so that'll hit.
Yes.
The power is 9.
It is.
So take 5.
Takes 5.
Grand.
Halfway damaged. Halfway.
Mr. Doctor, you're at range 8. Can I pre-measure?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
All right, so the Doctor will reload and shoot as well. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, 12, but only 1 point of damage.
12, but no points of damage.
Oh yeah, -4.
-4, yeah.
Oof. Straight through the ribcage. We then have this guy, my sapper. Or hang on, how many have I done? Because I've done him, and him. So that's my half done.
That's your half done.
Yeah.
Okay. So, skeletons. Like the skeletons in Jason and the Argonauts. Well, probably should have done this one already anyway, but I will strike back there. And I have a mighty melee of 1, I believe. Oh, yes, I do.
Defensive 13.
19, 20.
Oof.
So that's not bad.
Yeah.
It only causes 9 points of damage, though, because it's improvised.
Only, he says.
Improvised weapon.
So that's him taking 9. He's on 1 health.
Oh, dear. That's terrible. Now, whenever you're attacked in combat, and I should have done this when you attacked me, Fancy Boy, you've 2 options. You can strike back,
right,
or you can run away.
Oh, I will clearly strike back.
Okay. Obviously, your melee is now reduced by 1 because of that fatigue. But that's 13, even with a -1. You're still hitting, and I'm assuming that you have a melee greater than 0.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So he's using...
that is him, so it's the fencing weapon.
Okay, so fencing is skill, which is excellent.
So 8 damage.
Because that's 8 damage, no mitigation, and another dead skeleton.
And goodbye-bye.
Yep, but another fatigue for your poor man, however you are capped out at those. Okay. Not blaming you, but I can't reach you this turn, can I?
I'd say, yeah, you can.
Oh, excellent.
Just put yourself at the bottom of the hill. Or
I'll stand
on
the
smoke.
in proper Revenant fashion.
Okay.
I will attack.
Okay, that is my infantryman, who has already taken quite a bit of damage.
He has, yeah.
Oh no, sorry, I've marked the wrong guy for damage.
Oh dear.
Because I'm foolish.
Well, I'll roll in the meantime and get a 14, 15 I get, which I'm fairly certain will hit an infantryman anyway.
What did you get? 14?
15.
15?
I've got melee 1.
Yeah, that'll hit. Defense of 13.
Only 3 damage.
Only 3? Okay.
Only 3. My poor improvised punching fists.
I will fight back.
Okay.
That'll be a 9. No good.
No, it's not.
And he will take a fatigue for having fought.
Yes.
Grand.
It's always worth striking back, I feel, because you take the fatigue anyway, even if you're just trying to defend yourself.
Well, unless you're trying to run off the board for a scenario.
Well, yeah. In that very limited amount of time where you're 2 inches away from a board edge,
Yeah, I know.
feel you can back up.
I know.
Otherwise, I think punching somebody in the face is probably the best way to go. Okay, so he hasn't gone yet. These people. So he will shamble. He will shamble. He's already headed towards a grave marker, and a clue marker. After that, you start going towards people, even if you can't see them. So even if somebody's hiding, you'll still start going towards closest.
Yeah, panicky, panting, breathing behind a wall.
Yeah, so that will get me around the corner to there. He will go to there. And then I've got to turn a page and see what a vampire's like. Ooh. 6 inches. Now, if you can't see any of them, if you can see them, he'll go directly towards
I'd say he can
whoever's in line
see
of sight. If the tree's in the way or whatever, he would go towards whoever's up the hill.
I would say like that.
You don't really want to go near him, it has to be said. He's
quite bitey.
He's very bitey.
Okay.
He's not a nice man. That's the end of my monster phase. So second half of your
Yes. Commander hasn't went, so he will move into combat and swing with his hand weapon at the Revenant for a 4. Ugh.
Don't forget, you do have your 2 fate dice. You could re-roll one or both of those.
Sure, why not?
I can think of lots of reasons not to.
That'll be 10. Not good enough.
Well, what's your melee?
On my commander is +2, so 12.
12, so that is good enough then.
All right, fair enough. Then it's just a hand weapon, so 6 damage.
So 6 damage, and he'd already taken 5 damage, so he's actually
deadified.
Dead. See,
and fatigue.
a fatigue.
Right, we then have that's my irregular, he already went. My rifleman, who is currently useless, but has a move of 6. So what he's going to do...
Fixed bayonet and charge?
Pretty much. So 6 inches. Can you move twice or just once?
You move twice, but you're reduced in your second movement. It's like a sprint, essentially. So just get to it, because I believe it's actually a dice roll, unlike previous. So if you roll a single d10, and I will tell you whether or not I'm remembering this correctly.
That'll be 5.
Okie dokie. So 5. So you actually make a speed check.
His speed is 6.
So you need to roll a second dice. So you roll your 2 dice, essentially.
Okay, 7.
So 12. So if the sprint check is 11 or higher, which it is, you may move up to 4 inches. If it's a 10 or lower, you move up to 2 inches.
Okay, so
sprinting is
4 inches, yeah?
is good. Yeah.
All right. I will sprint up and around this way to put him closer to that revenant so that my investigator isn't going to get lamped.
It's a beautiful dream, isn't it?
It is.
Let's hope that vampire who's creeping up on him through the tree line thinks the same thing.
All right, and the last one is I still have my sapper who has a musket, so he'll forego the movement to reload, and he will plant one into this gentleman here.
Okie dokie.
That'll be 14. 15, so good enough.
Yes.
But 4 damage does nothing.
4 damage does, as you say, nothing.
Unfortunate.
That's all the predictableness of my lovely revenants. They just shrug it all off.
Yeah, and I believe
you can.
My Highlander is still to go.
Yeah. He's still been standing on the side of the board, looking at everyone.
He will go for 6 inches, which I think brings him just short of this.
Okay. If you sprint, when you move into combat, you can perform a melee attack, unlike previous games. So it doesn't matter what you roll. All you need is 2 to get in. And then you can just roll to attack.
Heavy weapon. Nope.
No, that's a shame.
I get the feeling my Silver Bayonet adventurers are mildly incompetent.
Well, it's more carry on than Van Helsing, really.
Yeah. Carry on screaming.
Yep. So, end of the turn. And we'll get a bonus revenant.
Yay. At 4.
At
so
4.
1, 2, 3, and 4. I will take that.
It's very far away. It's hardly even worth my while. But that's the end of another turn. And we'll be back with turn 3. So turn 3 then. And there's a chance the British may not all be murdered.
We'll see. That's what I think. So I think I'll start with my rifleman.
Yes.
And he is going to move up to within an inch of this and attempt to have a hook about and see what it is.
Okie dokie.
So how do we do this? So
the scenario will tell you what the clue markers are, card-wise, and also difficulty level, and also if there's any specific runes. So in this case, if you are at a clue marker adjacent to it without anything within 1 inch of you or the clue marker, then you're fine.
I am.
You can make a check, target 8.
Okay.
Combat engineers pass this check automatically.
Oh, I've got 2 of those.
Is he one of them?
No.
Shame.
Target of 8. Yep. 14. That'll pass.
So
I'll take that one.
What one?
The one on top.
One on top? Which one's on top? That's yours.
Okay.
Nobody can take that away from you. What is it?
Queen of Spades.
The Queen of Spades. You found a silver knife.
Oh, lovely.
Treat all of your melee attacks as silver for the rest of the scenario.
Lovely.
Handy.
Yoink.
Because, there's
a vampire.
There's a vampire on the board who is indestructible.
Really?
He's indestructible unless you hit him with something that he's allergic to. Silver, fire, holy things.
Okay.
Everything else will bounce off.
We're not carrying a lot of that.
No.
All right. My next activation will be my commander. So he will go to here. He is a combat engineer.
Okay.
So he automatically passes and gets that.
Grand. So, combat engineer gets?
The Jack of Spades.
Jack of Spades.
Please be a new blunderbuss. Santa, it's
A
almost Christmas.
small icon. You may add 1 power die to your fate pool.
Nice.
Well, you've already blown your reroll, so it's nice to get 1 back.
Right. Next thing, I think, is this gentleman here, the Highlander, will fight that. So, see if we can do any better. We cannot. That is only an 8.
You could reroll 1 with your new power dice that you've just got.
Yeah, I'll reroll the 2. For a 10.
See, isn't that much better? What's his melee stat?
He is a +2.
He's a +2. So
18.
18 will definitely hit.
Yes.
Power of 10 plus 1 because he's swinging a claymore like a lunatic.
Yes.
So 11 damage.
Oh, lovely.
That's a one shot.
Bap.
He goes away. See how much better it is when people hit things.
Yeah.
I don't know why you've waited until now to hit things. I'd have been hitting them immediately.
All right. Next up then.
Yep, got one more to go.
Yeah, I think I'll go with my sapper. So he will carry his smoke with him because he's not reloading.
Okay.
He's going to try and move himself 6 up and across this way. And I'll leave that with you.
Okay. And second action?
He will...
Could reload, could sprint, could run inside,
He will sprint
kick things around.
for... Ooh, nice. 4 inches.
So yeah, 4 inches. Successful.
So
Well done, you.
he'll shimmy in and around to here, staying back from that horrible, horrible thing there.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about this. That's nothing to worry about.
Yeah. That's my 4.
Okie dokie. Monstros.
Mm-hmm.
Monster time. That's a bit wacky. I suppose I'll start with this then.
Yep. Come and get him.
Is less than 2. He is about 2. So that one gets all my love.
Uh-huh. And he only has 3 health left.
Oh, that would be terrible if I murdered him to death.
Yes, it would be.
10, 11. What's
Not
your
good
defense?
enough.
Not
13.
Good enough.
No, 14 actually.
Going to strike back? Or you're going to run away?
Of course I'm going to strike back. Come here, you. That'll be with his melee of +1. A 12.
12. Enough to hit.
He is just using a fencing weapon, so that's 9 damage on you.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Ooh, he's almost dead.
And
That was unexpected and unwanted, I would have to say, in that order. Okay. Next up. You are now closest to me, but I can't reach you this turn. I'll just go to there. Interpose myself. And your leader.
He's a leader, yes.
Hello, leader. I would like to eat your face.
Defense of 13.
11, 12.
No good.
Wow.
Come here, you. 6. He is incompetent.
I don't know why is he leader because he can read?
I think he's leader because his dad was somebody. That's how he became a corporal.
Oh, that makes sense. You wee fatigue there. And then I'll move my last revenant straight down Main Street. And then my vampire. Vampire. Oh, hello.
Oh, buggery. Hello, Mr. Vampire.
Hi.
Please don't bite me.
I'm afraid I have to.
I've been very good today.
You really
I've been
haven't.
cleaning up your graveyard. Have you seen how unruly your undead are?
No, we don't believe you either. He has melee of +3.
Oh, mama. Okay, so that's him. Defense of 14. Oh, that will do.
That'll be 17, so 20 in total. 8 and 9. I have to see what he attacks with. Equipment, none.
Okay.
All right, so
Improvised?
it'll be improvised.
Teeth.
Unless one of these clever things says something else. Allergic to silver, blessed fire. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Soul shear, that sounds great. And strong sounds fantastic.
Oh, mama.
So, soul shear. If I damage another figure in melee, you'd have to make a terror check. However, I'm fairly certain that if I damage you in melee, you're dead.
Yes. And I am dead.
So,
Because you got an 8 and a 9 there.
Yes.
Either one of which will deadify him.
I imagine strong is a +1 damage.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
my -1 for punching you is negated by the fact that I'm a vampire and I punch you.
Yes.
So
Well, he's
that's
dead.
good. The first dead one.
And he didn't get to go this turn.
Oh no, what a terrible shame.
Yes.
That is the end of those.
All right.
left?
My irregular will reload and shoot the Revenant.
Yes,
Because why would he not?
that's true. It's only got 1 health left after being fenced to death by the unfortunate fellow.
+1. That'll be 15. That'll hit and do 7 damage.
Well, do 3 damage, but that's 2 more than you need.
Mm-hmm.
The poor person goes away.
Then my doctor, who's hurting at the minute. I forgot I had a medic.
Oh, he could have been like healing people.
Yeah.
And making them not dead.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I think the vampire would have made everybody dead anyway. So.
Well, he will move to this infantryman and try to heal him.
Ooh.
So that's something new and
Exciting.
Spicy.
Yeah. So it's very simple. Mm-hmm. Like most things, it takes an action.
Mm-hmm.
If you're within 1 inch of a friendly figure, and you don't move, so you have to put him back to where he was, but he would have been in range anyway.
Yeah.
You may spend your action to heal that figure, and it automatically gains 2 health back instead.
Nice.
Cool. Any member of the unit that's reduced to exactly 0 health, not -1 or less, so not punched to death by a vampire.
Yes.
It should be laid on side and left on the table if you have a medic, because the medic can reach it and heal the figure.
That's cool.
If an enemy model catches them first, they coup de grace them on the ground. But you've got a chance.
Yeah. So that's him. That's him. The infantryman is just going to reload and from a height, pop him.
Yep.
Because why not? That's why not. It does nothing.
That's terrible. That's just the worst.
Yes.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Yeah, and that's everybody.
That is everybody, yeah.
I think we've got a fair grasp on the basics of how this game plays now. I think we can call it at that.
Is it because you're worried about the vampires?
Yes, very much so.
I will say there's a second vampire comes in at the end of turn 5.
Well, all I have now is a Silver Bayonet now. Roll credits. But no, it's an interesting little system. I like that mechanic that whenever something's attacking you, obviously you're struggling back at the same time, so you get that chance to fight back and forth. I like the fatigue mechanic that actually makes you a little bit weaker the more you fight, but I like that it doesn't hang around and linger like a bad rotting smell.
And there are other bits and pieces you can get into, which we haven't in this, but we probably will in future games. If somebody's within 2 inches of an enemy, they can distract them, so they can give up their turn to put a fatigue onto somebody. So if you're fighting another opponent, or a particularly big, vicious opponent like a large monster, then that's the way to do it.
All right. Well, I will say, what have you done?
I'm just checking to see
what else there was.
Oh, yeah.
All the nicer things.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying nicer. However, what I will say is the 10 would have given you a jewel-encrusted silver cross.
Oh, lovely.
And the king would have been a bag of silver shot.
Oh,
which
lovely.
you could have handed over to people. But yeah, otherwise that's it. You're done and dusted. Given up was a bad job. You would then do a experience rolls like normal, and also recovery rolls. There's an interesting twist in that there is also a terror mechanic in this game, so you can suffer from a form of insanity.
Oh, lovely.
So if you get chased off by something huge, brutish, and particularly frightening,
you can go a little bibbledy.
Like a vampire punching one of your friend's hearts out through their chest from behind. Yeah. Then there's a chance that they can suffer maladies in future games as well. But otherwise, that's the core mechanics of the game. And for the solo mode, it's relatively simple to play through. Yeah.
I like it. Everybody, tell you what, get your comments down below. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, we'll be back soon with a 2-player PvP, as I believe the kids call it, book.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.